Teaching number 202. See with the gaze of your spirit the star that leads you into the presence of your Father. Here is the Savior, who comes to bring you in His Word the divine warmth that your spirits need, anguished by the painful pilgrimage of life. If through pain you approach me, it is my love that receives you. Trust and penetrate in the solemnity of this manifestation. I want to be with you, so close to your heart, that you truly feel my presence. Tonight, I want you and me to be one in harmony and tenderness, to realize that I am your first light, the divine promise, the tireless master who works to make you perfect spirits, worthy of God. I want to be with you, even if it is only 1 hour, but in such a way that it is impossible for you to separate from me. See that I come to fill you with tenderness, hope and balm, and I want you to remember that on a night like this I came to the world, to show you with my life and examples the path that leads to the kingdom of heaven. Come closer to me, so that you may receive in your heart the essence of this word and your prayer, which silently escapes from your heart to join all the songs of heaven and earth in this solemn hour. Pray everyone, pray for the poor, for the sad, for the captives, for the sick, for the orphans, pray, so that your thoughts go to anoint the one who suffers, to encourage the sad and to dry the tears of the one who cries. There is not one of you, no matter how hard your heart is, that in these moments is not softened, but I also tell you that in order to think of others, it is necessary to forget oneself. Then yes, they, you and I, will be one in this hour of spiritual communion. I have come to visit you in your solitude, and as I cease my lesson for this day, I will leave as a mark of my presence a fragrance that will be unforgettable for this people. Let me pick the withered flowers that your heart, full of sadness and wounds, presents to me, and there I will leave a lighted lamp of faith and hope. Your heart is what my spirit seeks today to emerge again in the heart of humanity. Truly I tell you that when you make my words your law, when you follow my footsteps and imitate my example, divine love will begin to flourish in your heart, which when became a man many centuries ago, brought you the seed of immortality. I myself come now to explain to you the reason for this love, since you have not been able to understand it. Your spirit shudders listening to me and tells me, Lord, it seems that I was with you at that time, your word reminds me of everything, would you like to get me out of this doubt, Master? Truly I tell you that at that time, all the spirits of mankind were witnesses of my coming and my work in the world. Your spirit is the same even if it has lived in another world or inhabited another body. Today it cries with different eyes, but its being is the same, and its questions are the same. It also asks me, tries to contemplate or discover me, then I tell it not to fear, to calm down and realize that life in infinity there are constant questions, and that, to understand the divine lessons, it is necessary to be humble, persevering, and of great faith. Many times you want to understand first the great and then the less significant, but start by knowing yourselves, analyze and question yourself, then you will see how you begin to feed on the fire of your being, because God has lit it with the fire of His Holy Spirit. You will vaguely understand this teaching, because you know that you cannot have more light than that which corresponds to your evolution, but I assure you that those who know how to seek me within their being, in the temple of their own spirit, will soon obtain answers to those questions that for centuries they had not been able to find an explanation for. If in man there is rebellion against the spiritual, it is natural that his smallness cannot judge the infinite, and no matter how much the Master speaks to you about the greatness of the Father, he cannot conceive what that truth contains. I must tell you that I have only spoken to you about the knowledge that you must have of God, because to encompass everything, to penetrate and know it all as you may want, you cannot achieve. Only God truly knows God, the Master tells you. Perceive, people, the absolute silence with which the universe venerates and worships its Lord at this hour. Everything enters into gentle submission, sublime contemplation, and profound adoration. It is that all beings and everything created know that I am giving my word, the same word that spoke on the lips of Jesus, to which men and elements obeyed, to which incurable diseases gave way, and to which the dead rose. On this night of spiritual celebration for those who know how to prepare and rise, you have in the invisible, in the intangible, the presence and visit of those beings whom you call angels, and if you truly know how to separate your spirit from matter, you will contemplate the fields, the cities, the homes, and the space illuminated with the celestial brilliance of innumerable beings, messengers of light, of peace and love. The heavens draw closer to the earth and their light seeks the same for those who stop to remember, and for those who have forgotten spiritual truth. Rejoice, O humanity, rejoice at least for this night, since you still would not know how to retain this peace forever. Rejoice with healthy joy of heart, which is tenderness and return to kindness. Rejoice, yes, with joy of the Spirit, which is eternal illumination. A holy night you call this night, those of you who remember when the Rabbi came into the world. Under the divine influence of those memories, beings become closer, the absent one is remembered, offenses are forgiven, families are reunited, friends are visited, hearts are filled with hope, everyone seems to be waiting for something unknown that they cannot manage to define, in the night in which men put a little tenderness in the hardness of their hearts, and some a little spirituality over their materialism. But I ask you, do you think that only this night is worthy of being called good by men? Could you not, with a little love, make all the nights and days of your existence be good, so that you would see that all of life, without the exception of only an instant be good? You ask me, is it that night in which we remember every year the one in which you came to our world to bring us a message of love? And I answer you, that every hour marks the moment in which that man was born in whom the Word became man, and that my spirit was then, as close to men, as it was before, and as it is now. But as long as you do not lead a daily life that is entirely directed toward the law, to the truth and to the love of one towards the other, at least try to be spiritually united on this night of remembrance. Everyone seek me, all come to me, but come meek and humble, expecting everything from the charity of your Lord. Nobody comes with greatness or vanity, because I tell you that I prefer you poor and sinful, but humble, trying to wash your stains in the crystal clear waters of my forgiveness. Oh, if you could come with me in spirit and contemplate from here all the misery of humanity. If the powerful, the rich and those who live surrounded by comfort wanted to be with me tonight, I would take them in spirit to the places of pain and poverty that they do not want to see. Then I would tell them, leave your party for a moment and let's go together to the places where your poor brothers live, let's see how they live this blessed night of sadness for some and parties for others. Do not be afraid, I would tell them, that I ask you for just a few moments and then you will be able to return to your feast and your joy. Then I would take them from place to place and show them an old mother, who in the solitude of her miserable bedroom mourns the loss of her children, who were her hope, who were taken from her by the war. That woman lives only on memories and prayers, while there are many who get drunk with pleasure, she drains her cup of bitterness. Her spirit only awaits the time to leave this world and enter eternity, because her hope in mankind has long since died. Then I would show them children, wandering among a humanity that does not respect the lives of their fellow men and does not love or understand the needy. I would have them listen to the profound questions of the children, who in their human innocence wonder why there is so much injustice, so much hatred, selfishness and cruelty. Then I would take them to those places where they can hear the wails and cries of the sick, suffocated, of whom have seen their bodies bend as a branch breaks when the hurricane hits. They are the sick, the vanquished, the forgotten. Later I would open the prison doors to them, so that they could contemplate the thousands of beings who have fallen into the darkness of captivity due to lack of love, charity, light, justice, or peace. And so, from place to place, I would present to them in a single picture all the misery and pain that has been produced by ambitions, greed, hatred, materialism and the tireless thirst for power of those who are puffed up with their false power, of those who, believing themselves to be powerful, are not, nor do they allow anyone to possess what is rightly theirs. But I do not call them, because I know that, although my voice is heard in their conscience, they are deaf to it. But you, people, who are listening to me, who know of deprivation, loneliness, cold and orphanhood as well and therefore vibrate together with that humanity that cries its hunger and thirst for justice, come to me, and together let us visit in spirit the sick, the sad, all the poor and forgotten in the world. Come, so you can see how I extend my cloak and unite it to yours to lovingly cover all humanity. Come so you can hear my spiritual voice saying to those who cry, do not cry anymore, do not be sad, wake up to faith and hope that are light on the path of life. Truly I tell you that if you return to pray and watch with true faith, these days of sorrow for humanity will be shortened. Yes, people, beloved, from the seat where you rest to listen to me, you can let your spirit come closer to my seat, so that it contemplates, understands and feels better the tragedy of men, of their brothers. Do you see those multitudes, how full of animation they are? They are soldiers who have given a brief truce to their combat to offer me a few minutes of prayer and remembrance, but their joy and animation are fictitious. They eat and drink to calm their sorrows, but in their hearts there is great pain. They suffer, people, they suffer a lot, and especially on this night that is torture for them. Every memory is a thorn, every name or every face they recall is a wound. While you have peace despite your poverty, while you can see your parents, children and wives, they have to breathe the bitterness of not being able to hold them close and the anguish of thinking that perhaps they will not look at them again. Many of them suffer by taking lives, destroying homes and cities, sowing pain, mourning and tears, and then they believe they have lost all right to return home, to peace, to their loved ones. I know that many of them are not guilty, they do not carry hatred or perversity in their hearts. I know that they are victims, they are slaves and instruments of the true evildoers. Only I can rescue you, only my love can cover you, they are alone in the world. You, people, who cannot imagine what that test means, but who today have been touched by my word in your most sensitive fibers, send them your thoughts full of charity and light, because in truth I tell you, that they without knowing why, will feel strengthened and encouraged to pray and hope that the fratricidal war will finally cease, and instead of the deafening din of combat, their ears will once again hear those sweet phrases that say, "Peace on earth to men of good will." Pray, people, and with it help the world wait for the light of a new day, that men remember my promise, the one that speaks of better times, of spirituality and well-being. I also say to you, let us now go to the hearts of the children and look for those who lack everything. Look at them, they sleep, in their sleep there are no reproaches for anyone, although their bed is very hard. The table had no bread today, however they rest confident in the new day. They dress in rags, but they do not feel ashamed, because they are innocent and smile even though their bodies lack warmth. They are angels on earth, because in their smiles without evil they reflect something of the purity of heaven. O innocents! Cover them with your fine mantle because theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You all call this night Christmas Eve and I shower blessings on all my children. Know that I am yours and you are mine. Remember that I proved my love to you by coming to live among you humble ones, being born in poverty, struggling among thistles and dying in ignominy. Of me you cannot say that I do not understand you, because I have not only seen your pains but I have lived them. I also speak to you of the elderly, of those who long ago left the spring of life and now feel the cold of winter. With old age they lack strength, energy, health, the work becomes heavy, the members become clumsy and no longer called upon to contribute. Thus, the elderly are excluded from the struggle of others, they are abandoned and their broken hearts have to sink into sadness and have to know the misery of need, hunger and loneliness. I speak to you about them, because they also need your help and consolation. Love them, people, and you will have the right to sit at the great table of the spiritual banquet, where I will tell you, blessed are you who, in imitation of the Master, knew how to understand all those who suffer. Begin thus to develop charity in you and then I will take your hands to make my blessings pass through them and you will never oppose me again to take what is yours to give to your brother, so that when you say to me, Lord, everything mine is yours, say it with your heart. If in your life you have practiced charity, continue to do so, but if not, then start with the first needy person who knocks at your door, whether he is sick in spirit or in body, a desolate heart, a widow, an old man or a child. Think that the truly needy represent Jesus, that he comes in each one of them to tell you, I thirst for you to love one another. Is it possible that the hearts of men are not moved by the great pictures of pain and misery that this humanity presents? Yes, it is possible. I see those who do not suffer misery caress with their eyes the riches they possess, with more affection than beings, children of God. Beloved people, you have accompanied me in these brief moments to visit those in need, therefore, blessed be you, do not think that I forget the rich and the powerful, because although apparently they do not need me, I am the one who best knows their misery and their bitterness and who best knows their misfortunes, but today they think they have it all, then, why turn to me if I am, according to them, the Christ of the sick, of the outcasts, of the sad? They do not know that my mission is to save them from false splendor to give them true and eternal happiness. Besides you, do you know who has listened tenderly to my word and has felt my spirit vibrate with love? Mary, beloved people, the maternal spirit who dwells in the bosom of the Creator and whose essence will always be united to the memory of Jesus. His passage through the world, although longer than mine, because he came before and left after, was short. His short and sweet words were a heavenly caress. Feel it in spirit, love it and seek it spiritually. Know that in as many works of charity as you do, she will be with you, that over the suffering and bleeding world she has extended her mantle of intercession and tenderness, and that in each one of your complaints or sorrows you will be able to hear a voice that responds to you with tenderness. Do not fear, I am here, have faith. Thus, people, you have been with me, my breath has penetrated your heart on this blessed night and I have made you forget all hardship. Pray, so that the light of your Savior will be a guide and lead you through this stormy sea that you cross today. My peace be with you.